clothing styles, jewelry styles change too.
And that's why John and I are excited about all the new styles in Juniker's new spring collections.
We have new bridal and wedding ring styles arriving daily.
Like bezels and half bezel settings.
Settings for elongated ovals and radiant cut diamonds.
And yellow gold is back in a big way.
Cigar band styles and settings in diamond fashion are really hot this season.
And dazzling bezel set diamond bands make a huge statement on every well-dressed woman.
Come see all the new spring styles in bridal and fashion jewelry today at Juniker Jewelry Company,
Mississippi's largest fine jeweler and your direct diamond importer.
Remember, you can't buy a better quality diamond at a lower price anywhere in Mississippi. That's the Juniker's money-back diamond guarantee.
Juniker Jewelry Company, Mississippi's direct diamond importer. 1485 Highland Colony Parkway, just south of 463 in Madison, and junikerjewelry.com.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
If it feels like the world's gone a little crazy lately, you're not wrong. They say parents should have a voice. But what happens when no one's listening? Forget the noise, the narratives, and the nonsense. It's time to have real conversations, stand up, speak out, and shine a light on what's really happening inside our schools, our systems, and our government, and what it really means for your family. This is the Lindsey Beckham Show, where we believe in truth over talking points, facts over feelings, and the courage to say what others won't. Because when it comes to our kids, silence is not an option.
Only in America, dreaming.
Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome into the Lindsey Beckham Show. Hope everybody is safe today after those awful storms last night. Praying for all of the families who have been affected by the tornadoes that went through the entire state. It seems like I always have PTSD when I see the storm chasers are in the state of Mississippi. I am originally from Yazoo City, and shortly after I graduated college, I moved to Birmingham, and I worked there at WYAB for a few years. Actually, by trade, I have a degree in the medical field. Of course, I cannot imagine going back into the medical field at this point. Everything I know and can't unknow. But I had moved back to Mississippi after being in Birmingham for a few years, and that's when the tornado came through Yazoo City that pretty much leveled a good portion of the city. Of course, it's a very small town. But at the time, I was looking for a job in my field, and they had just opened a new hotel in Yazoo. And so I was working the front desk at that hotel, and the storm chasers, Reed Timmer, with the Dominator, the Dominator. I think this was maybe the third version of the Dominator that they had at the time, but they were in town, of course, chasing the storm, the big tornado that really devastated the Yazoo area. And they actually filmed a documentary, and they came back and they stayed at the hotel where I was working at the time for several weeks. And so I got to know Reed and some of his crew. I could not ever do what they do. I got to drive the Dominator around the hotel parking lot. But I've told Reed before, when I see that you're in Mississippi, I just cringe because all of that scariness comes back. You know, so much damage and destruction was done just a mile down the road from my home in Yazoo City. So I get a little nervous every time I see that they are in the state of Mississippi, and they were yesterday. And then, of course, we did see some devastating storms whip through the area. Our governor made a post this was actually 4 hours ago, providing an update from the storms that impacted our state last night. He said there have been 17 injuries reported, and initial damage assessments indicate that 275 homes and 50 apartment units are damaged. are not accessible in Lamar County. 30 roads are closed due to debris. There's the county shelter or safe room is open, and the American Red Cross support is available. More than 200 homes were damaged in Lincoln County. The Cajun Navy is deploying a 50-person shelter pod, generators, and then pallets with supplies. 12 homes were damaged in Lawrence County. Multiple roads are closed due to downed trees and power lines. Of course, those numbers are just preliminary, so I'm sure that there will be more added to that. The Mississippi Emergency Management Agency is supporting damage and operation assessments. Road clearing teams are being deployed to remove debris, and the state is deploying additional resources as requested by local emergency managers. So y'all, please be in prayer for the people who were affected by these devastating storms. You know, I've seen the power of a tornado and the damage that it can truly do. And it's so funny when you go and you look at or you assess the damage after a big storm like this. It's almost as though it just kind of picks and chooses what it takes. And some homes are standing there and don't look like they've had any damage whatsoever. And then the home right next door is just completely destroyed. And yes, I saw a lot of lives torn apart over that tornado that ripped through Yazoo County all those years ago. So I'm definitely praying for the people who were affected by these storms yesterday. My oldest daughter was at work. She works at Christo's, and I text her. I said, "Can you please tell them that I need you to come home? I need to come get you." Yeah, you just feel so much better when there's a threat of weather like that, when you have all your babies there with you under one roof. And you know, we had a sweet young woman in Yazoo County who literally put her children into the bathtub and she laid over them. She put her body over them. They didn't get to those children until hours later, and they had been sitting there with their deceased mother on top of them. Horrific, horrible tragedy, but she died protecting her babies. And I always think about that and think about, you know, I would do anything to keep my children safe, even if it meant, you know, shielding them with my own body. I think that's the way a lot of mothers feel. So just definitely in prayer for those families who were affected. It's a little dreary out there today. I'm ready for the sunshine, ready to get back to the sunshine. Hopefully that will be coming our way soon. But we are live here on this Thursday afternoon here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. Again, I know I've said this every day this week, but just want to remind you, children, adult children, this weekend is Mother's Day, and I can't think of a greater Mother's Day gift than to pamper that special mom in your life. So you cannot go wrong with anything at Women's Wellness. So go see them, go see Morgan, and then make Mother's Day special for the moms in your life. Lots of stuff that I want to get to today. I know y'all didn't think I was going to let this whole JPS Facebook post go by without talking about it. So we're going to get into that. And then every year, I think I'm just more appalled at what we see described as art or fashion when we look at these people who show up at the MET Gala looking all kinds of crazy, and we wonder why our children are confused and don't know who they are. And this is a prime example why a lot of them probably feel that way, because it seems like the world's just gone insane. Of course, I almost think that some of these celebrities dress that way just to add the shock value to it all, but it's definitely shocking and not in a good way. We're going to talk about that as well. I will be speaking tonight at the Choctaw County GOP, so excited to head over there, get to see friends from Choctaw County GOP and share with them what Moms for Liberty's mission is, and what my mission is here in the state of Mississippi, and things that we are working on and how they can get involved. So super excited about that. If you're in the area, I'm going to be there this evening at 6:30 at the, let me find the exact name of the Council House Restaurant in Choctaw County. So I'm excited about that. I was looking over some of my notes that I use when I speak, or notes that I have, just to kind of refresh my memory on things that I definitely want to touch on. And I was reminded of this keynote speech given. It was our very first Moms for Liberty Summit in Tampa, Florida, and Allie Beth Stuckey was there, and she spoke on our final night. She was our big keynote speaker, and I really enjoy listening to Allie Beth. I think she's very wise beyond her years, and she makes a lot of really great, valid points when it comes to conservative politics, especially conservative politics when you're also really strong in your faith and you want to center policy around the way you want to live your life in your faith. But she made a really great point, and she talked about how we were her people, because we get it. We're out there on the front lines. We're fighting these culture wars. We're fighting for our children, protecting children, empowering parents, and standing for truth. And that's what I believe the mission is here at the Lindsey Beckham Show. But Allie Beth talked about women who don't quite get it yet. They haven't had something really wake them up, and they don't want to rock the boat. They're complacent, and they are okay with that. They're okay with living their life in a way where they're not extremely vocal, or they're not involved in politics, or involved in these culture war issues, or in their children's schools. And that's okay. That's okay. But then one day something happens, and the enemy shows up at their church, or at their doorstep, or in their school library, or an extremist radical teacher decides to lie and send CPS to their home to investigate false, fraudulent charges and allegations. And then they think, what is happening? What is going on in this world? And I think it's our place as people who are involved and who have been involved and who know what's happening to confirm their fears. Absolutely, yes, these things are happening. That's my favorite line that I hear from so many people across the state is, there's no way that's happening here in Mississippi. We're in the Bible Belt. We are a conservative, super Republican majority state. There's no way those things are happening here. There's no way that stuff's in our school library. There's no way they're teaching critical race theory in our schools. There's no social emotional learning there. There's no DEI. Yeah, there is. Yes, there is. And so while we don't sugarcoat anything and we confirm the fears, we also take them under our wing and show them how to have a voice, how to fight back, how to fight for your children, how to fight for your rights, how to talk to legislators about good conservative policy, how to find out who your legislators are, how to build those relationships, how to show up. Because it's not easy when you've never done that before. It's a scary thing. It's a very scary thing to put yourself out there and be vulnerable and really speak out. You might get called crazy. You might be run through the mud and on the Madison, Mississippi Mamas page. But that's okay. I think that we are called to speak out. And I think it's so very important, because this is one thing Allie Beth said: politics matter and policy matters because people matter. People matter. And so therefore we need good policy. And the only way to get good policy is to get involved in politics. So I don't think we are meant to just sit around and stay silent and hope for the best until Jesus comes back. I fully believe that we are intended to get out there and fight. Fight for our children, fight for our freedoms, use our voices for good. I think that's why God gave us a voice. And freedom is always only one generation away from extinction. A republic if you can keep it. A government for the people, by the people. But I was just looking back through my notes and I remembered that comment that Allie Beth made about politics matters and policy matters because people matter. People are affected by the policy that is set in place through politics. And I just fully believe as Americans, it's our duty. It's our duty to speak out, use our voices, and fight for the future of this country. If not us, then who? We're here now, today, for such a time as this. So let's make the absolute most of it. I got to take a break. When we get back, we're going to get into these topics that I am just sitting here waiting on God to talk about. Jackson Public Schools. My. We're going to get into it when we get back. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back here. WYAB 1039, The Lindsey Beckham Show. Don't go anywhere. WYAB 1039, The Lindsey Beckham Show. Don't go anywhere.
Only in America.
1039 WYAB.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Doctor, the AC doctor, what's your diagnosis? My whole house was hot as a fever. Now my house frozen, cause my air conditioning's on. Doctor, my AC's broken. Doctor, the AC doctor, he healed my house, bless my soul.
The AC Doctors is your one-stop provider for air conditioning and heating installation, service, and repair. Contact us for money-saving repairs and lower energy bills.
Doctor, the AC doctor, he healed my house, bless my soul.
Google the AC Doctors and get some relief today. TheACDR.com.
Venable Glass is your local glass expert, offering residential, automotive, and commercial glass. Venable Glass can do it all. Windshield repair, replacement of shower doors, mirrors, and everything in between. What sets Venable Glass apart from the rest? Unmatched reliability and customer service. Don't forget, tell your insurance company that you want to use Venable Glass. And remember, you do have a choice. Let Venable Glass work hard to earn your business. Call Venable's Ridgeland or Brandon locations today for a free estimate or visit venableglass.com.
Fraud is everywhere these days. The good news, there are simple steps that you can take to help stay safe. AARP Mississippi is hosting free fraud prevention events to help protect yourself, like free shred events that let you safely dispose of sensitive documents, and free fraud prevention workshops in person and online. Register for a free fraud prevention event at www.aarp.org/ms.
Antique Mall of the South has 14,000 square feet of pristine, clean floor space. Home to beautiful, timeless antique treasures. Antique Mall of the South is open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. Check them out online at antiquemallofthesouth.com or go to the Antique Mall of the South Facebook page. You can also read the dozens of 5-star reviews online. Come see for yourself at Antique Mall of the South in Ridgeland. Now open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. That's Antique Mall of the South, Highway 51 in Ridgeland.
Sun coming up over New York City.
Welcome back into the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. This is the Lindsey Beckham Show. I am, of course, Lindsey Beckham. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Of course, you can find us on your FM radio dial at 1039, and you can also stream the audio version of all WYAB shows at WYAB.com. 50,000 watts being pushed out across the state of Mississippi of your favorite radio show hosts who tell it exactly like it is here at WYAB. If you are looking to drum up some business, reach out to us. We would love to partner with you and have you as a sponsor here at WYAB. You can find out more information about that. You can email me, Lindsey at WYAB. That's Lindsey with an E, Lindsey, or info at WYAB. And we would love to share more information about that with you. You also can call into the show today if you have anything you would like to add to the conversation, any comments, questions, concerns. 601-879-0002 is the number to call into the show. We also have a text line. 601-879-4648 is the Lindsey Beckham Show text line. So I would love to hear from you and get your thoughts and opinions on our topics today. So I want to thank also Secretary of State Michael Watson, also candidate for Lieutenant Governor. He has announced his candidacy, and he will be campaigning all across the state as he seeks your vote for Lieutenant Governor. Thank you to him for being here with us on the show yesterday and sharing with us his thoughts and his vision for the state of Mississippi if elected Lieutenant Governor. Now, y'all know I wasn't going to let this whole slip by whoever runs the social media for Jackson Public Schools go without talking about it. Now, obviously, whoever has access to the social media accounts for Jackson Public Schools got a little confused as to which Facebook they were logged into. I'm sure that they thought they were sharing something onto their own personal Facebook page when in fact they were logged in to the official Facebook account for Jackson Public Schools. And what a gem they shared. This was Tuesday afternoon. This was a post by somebody named CJ Joinen, and it was shared again by the official Facebook page of Jackson Public Schools. And it says a little something like this. You see this kind of thing in struggling lower income Southern households, and it tells a very specific story. When life hasn't delivered much, no wealth, no power, no real social standing, some folks discovered that white supremacy is basically a free membership card to a club that makes them feel superior without requiring any actual achievement. It's the world's laziest status symbol. The starter kit is always the same. A Confederate flag honoring a war their ancestors lost badly 160 years ago. A gun they'll never actually need. And this is Jackson? A gun they don't need? Have they seen the crime rates? Okay. A Confederate flag honoring a war their ancestors lost badly 160 years ago, a gun they'll never actually need, a Bible they'll never actually read, and Fox News running 24/7 telling them they're real Americans. Unlike those fancy elitist Democrats who are secretly importing an army of replacement voters to steal their what exactly? Their Dollar General? Their 1987 Camaro on cinder blocks in the yard? Fox found the formula and never let go of it. Take a man who has nothing. Tell him the reason he has nothing is because those people are taking it. And suddenly he's not a struggling nobody. He's a soldier in a cultural war. He matters. He's relevant. He becomes a MAGA warrior. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is precisely how a twice impeached, 4 times indicted, 34-time felon, bankrupt New York con man who golfs at his own resorts became the hero of the working man. You genuinely cannot make this stuff up. And I write this so that hopefully they will recognize what they have done and what they are doing and snap out of it. Little inappropriate for Jackson Public Schools, I would think. So we know how they feel. Racism works both ways, people. Racism works both ways. Reverse racism is still racism. That's one of the 10 points that Vivek Ramaswamy would always talk about. Reverse racism is racism. And that right there, my friends, is the definition of racism. Where's the outrage? Where's the outrage? On the official social media account for Jackson Public Schools. Jackson, our state capital. And look, I'm not always agreeing with Donald Trump. I've made that very clear from right here behind this microphone. I've called him out when I don't agree with things that he has done. I don't think that we are ever going to agree with someone 100% of the time. I also very much respect the things that he has done, especially the things concerning the issues that I'm so passionate about. But am I not remembering this correctly all of a sudden? Because I'm pretty sure we knew what it was like to have him as our president, because he was our president, remember? And then if I'm remembering this correctly, I believe that when he won this last presidential election, he won not only the Electoral College, but also the popular vote. And I also think, if I'm remembering this correctly, he also won all 7 swing states. So, I think a lot of people got out and voted for him. How much more distasteful could their social media account possibly be? That is the most vile post and stance to take as a school district. Not only a school district, but the school district of our capital city. Like, way to make us look great here in Mississippi. Because Jackson's the capital for all of us, for all Mississippians. I'll tell you what, they need to get their act together over there at Jackson Public Schools. Whoever's running this social media account should no longer be running it. I think that's very clear here. Whether or not you agree with the message that was shared, it's highly inappropriate. Now, they did yesterday make some sort of an apology, I guess, if you can call it that. They've since removed it. They've since removed the original post that was shared, and then also their apology post. Couldn't find it anywhere on their social media Facebook page earlier today. But yesterday they did post this. There are things called screenshots. And we're quick. Got to give props to Clay. He's the one that sent me the original post. Of course, they had already removed it by the time I got to their page to look. But yesterday they posted this. Dear JPS community, Tuesday, content was unintentionally posted on the official Jackson Public Schools Facebook page. Once the error was identified, the post was immediately removed. Appropriate steps are being taken to ensure that content intended for this platform is managed separately from personal platforms. While we care deeply about broader social issues and their impact on our scholars and communities, Jackson Public Schools does not take a public stance on political matters and remains a nonpartisan organization. Well, you could have fooled me. Could have fooled me after reading that post that was shared. We sincerely apologize to our scholars, families, staff, and the broader community for this misrepresentation and any concern it may have caused. You're dang right, it causes some concern. It causes a lot of concern. Who the heck have you got working for you? Do we background check these people? Because that's so highly inappropriate. And I can't imagine the outrage if it were the other way around. If there were direct racist comments made towards the Black community on Rankin County Schools' official Facebook page or Madison County Schools' official Facebook pages, there would be all-out chaos. People would be furious. Racism is racism, period. And this was definitely racism. I don't understand why the apology was also removed. I think that was something they should have left. But you know what? It's Jackson. You can't figure these people out. But if we have people running the show with that mentality, Jackson's never going to be any better. It will be what it is from here on out. Because that is not the mentality of someone who wants to do better. In fact, it's just downright disgusting. We got to take a break. When we get back, I want to get into, if you could even call it fashion these days, and why I believe it is so concerning. Y'all stay with us. WYAB 1039, The Lindsey Beckham Show. We will be right back.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. New sanctions against Cuban government and military financial assets and services are announced by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who's visiting the Vatican, where he met with Pope Leo on a trip to smooth over relations since President Trump's anger over the Pope's opposition to the Iran war. Sources tell ABC News that the U.S. and Iran are negotiating a short-term proposal, a smaller deal, to have Iran open up the Strait of Hormuz while the U.S. ends a blockade of Iranian ports. ABC's Rachel Scott.
One of the major sticking points in any of these negotiations will be Iran's nuclear program. The president has long insisted that Iran needs to give up its nuclear material. So far, Iran has flat out refused.
Massive cleanup underway in Mississippi with over a dozen injuries, hundreds of homes damaged after tornadoes overnight. Health officials say there are 12 suspected, 6 confirmed cases of hantavirus on the Dutch cruise ship sailing to the Canary Islands. This is ABC News.
Want insider tips on foundation repair, maintenance, and how to protect your biggest investment? Todd Sandridge, owner of Superior Foundation Services, will be dropping in this month for quick interviews with your favorite local hosts. Whether you're dealing with cracks, settling, or just want peace of mind, this is a conversation you don't want to miss. Superior Foundation Services, helping you stay on solid ground. Find them online at superior.ms. That's superior.ms.
If you're a parent or grandparent, you should know that even though Mississippi is ranked as the unhealthiest state in the country, we have the highest vaccination rate for our children and grandchildren. Many of us blindly trust the medical establishment, and now it's time to question vaccine safety. Mississippi Parents for Vaccine Rights is a grassroots organization working to educate the public and lawmakers about this important topic. Be informed. Go to mpvr.org. Like us on Facebook to stay up to date on the latest information. That's Mississippi Parents for Vaccine Rights, mpvr.org.
Health has always been reactive, focused on fixing problems as they happen. But with Blue Primary Care, we're taking a proactive approach, working with you to help you understand your health and empowering you to be healthy. It's time to prioritize you, your health, and your life. The results? Less worrying and more living. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue.
Friday mornings at 9 is a great time to chill with us here at 103.9 WYAB. It's the Blues and Arts Hour, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi, Small Town Music, and Fusion Coffee House. I'm Chris Davis, your host. You'll hear from people who play, write, and live music, from Mississippi artists and creators, and you'll also get to sample some of their work. And it's every Friday morning at 9 on 103.9 WYAB.
Would you like to get the hell out of your life? If you do, we can help. Listen to life-changing stories of faith from ordinary people. Our guests share how they discovered hope, freedom, and God's amazing grace, and today are living a life of freedom with purpose. The show is called Get the Hell Out of Your Life with your host, Ron Myers. Heard every Saturday morning at 7 and 7:30 right here on 103.9 WYAB. It can also be heard on your favorite podcast platform.
Welcome back into the Lindsey Beckham Show. I am, of course, Lindsey Beckham. We are streaming live here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Of course, always on your FM radio 103.9 and also at WYAB.com. There's some haters, I tell you, some haters in the comments over there on YouTube. Y'all just keep on hating. I'm just fine with it. I've got some thick skin over here. I can take all of your hate and your criticism. I don't lose a bit of sleep at night. I can promise you that. And I like my red lipstick, so I'm sorry that you don't. I wanted to take a moment to congratulate State Representative Rodney Hall. He has been appointed by Speaker Jason White to the Mississippi House Select Committee on Redistricting. The Supreme Court got it right, he said. Our elections should be based on the Constitution, not race-based political engineering. Communities that share churches, jobs, economies, and values deserve common sense representation, not districts drawn to protect political power. It's time to put the people first and restore constitutional representation in Mississippi. I agree completely. Representative Rodney Hall is one of my favorite representatives in the Mississippi legislature. Hopefully he'll be on the show sometime soon. I'm going to talk with him about that next week when I see him, but I just am extremely proud of him. I think he's done a phenomenal job in his first term as state rep, and I think he's got a very promising political career in his future. All right, I wanted to talk about whatever you even can call what we see at the MET Gala every year. Some of the most vile, strangest excuses for fashion and our art every year. I think, okay, I don't know that they can shock me much more than what I saw last year, but then they go and do it. And I think it makes total sense that our children are confused when this is who they have to look to. A few years ago, we saw Kim Kardashian in this black leather from head to toe. And when I say head to toe, literally her entire face was covered. You didn't even know who she was. So this year, the Kardashians took to showing up at the Met Gala in what they call the undressing look. And so these outfits, costumes, I mean, I can't call this fashion, have actual plastic looking breasts with nipples on them. One of the sisters had a skin colored from the waist up, plastic with the breast and the nipples, and then her dress was unzipped and hanging off of her. And I'm just thinking, how is this fashion? And then we see Sam Smith, who looks like something straight out of Satan's demonic playbook. And Travis Kelce has gotten kind of a bad rap because so many people initially thought that it was him, but it wasn't. It's Sam Smith, and he had these people who are following him around almost as though they are worshiping him. Katy Perry has some sort of mask that she y'all, you cannot make this stuff up. It's like a door that she would open up so that you could see her face to even know who she was. And this is what is being represented to our children as fashion and art. It's a really sad world when that's what our children have to look at as role models. You know, I'm convinced that Hollywood is Satan's playground. He has truly gotten a hold of some of these celebrities, and there's no turning back. Well, there is. Jesus can always save and change things no matter how far gone you are. But it's heartbreaking to me that this is what is being presented to our children and youth as celebrities and glamour and fame. Because it looks incredibly demonic. My children, I know, think I use that word far too much, but I call it like I see it. And on Texter on the text line said, pagans, I don't know what these people are. I don't know what they are. And it's comical watching these women show up and walk this red carpet. They cannot even move in these concoctions. And every year it just seems to be more and more extreme, more and more dark. It's like a train wreck that you can't quite look away from, yet you want to shield your eyes because my eyes are burning. It's a different world out there, obviously, than the world that I grew up in. But I just think about our children, and this is what's being presented to them. And, as a little girl, you want to be able to watch movies and have your favorite actresses and singers and dream about what a life living that way would be. And things have just gotten so incredibly dark and twisted and truly demonic. And it's everywhere. You cannot be careful enough with what our children are being exposed to, not only our children, but ourselves as well. When you open up a door to allow this type of darkness into your life, it can wreak havoc. So I pray every day that there is a revival and a spiritual awakening in this country, because we sure do not need to be following in line with the famous Hollywood scene right now. Incredibly disturbing. I pray that my girls know who they are, whose they are, and that they stay far away from the dark and destructive lives that are being lived in Hollywood today. Scary. It's a scary, scary world out there. This country needs Jesus. I know I say that a lot, but it has never been more true. We got to take our last break of the day. Y'all stay with us. We're going to be right back here on WYAB 103.9, The Lindsey Beckham Show, to wrap things up. Don't go away.
Only in America. 103.9 WYAB.
Have you thought about the cost of long-term care? In Mississippi, a home health aide can cost over $57,000 a year, and a private nursing home room can exceed $109,000 annually. Hi, my name is Cressley Pierce at Pierce Professional Agency. Long-term care insurance may help protect your savings and give you more options and peace of mind as you age. Learn how planning ahead could save you money and stress. Find me, Cressley Pierce, online today at MadisonPlans.com. That's MadisonPlans.com.
This is Jack Hoffman. For nearly 31 years, Tico's Steakhouse has been a staple of fine dining in Jackson, Mississippi. Dad has long since desired for me to come work alongside him. And now that I'm here, I would like to invite you to come experience our family tradition of our hospitality, sizzling steaks, and healthy poured beverages. Our dining rooms are open and we are taking reservations. Our private rooms are also available along with takeout. Call today or stop in to experience Tico's in the second generation.
Tico's Steakhouse, East County Line Road in Ridgeland, 601-956-1030.
Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store. LS Tractor understands your passion for the land, and just like you, LS Tractor is committed to excellence and superior products. LS Tractor comes with a long list of standard features that are unmatched by other brands and backed with the LS commitment to provide exceptional customer service and satisfaction. You get a lot more for your money with the LS Tractor. Come to the Tractor Store in Richland to experience the LS difference. The Tractor Store in Richland.
Men, if you answer yes to any of these questions, you could be suffering from low testosterone. Do you have low sex drive? ED, always tired, depressed, loss of muscle mass, obese, loss of focus and drive? You, my friends, need to get your numbers checked. Check out Men's Health of Mississippi, located in Madison, Mississippi, and online at menshealthms.com. Guys, get your numbers checked today. Trust me, she'll thank you for it. I promise. menshealthms.com. Men's Health of Mississippi.
Have you been injured through no fault of your own? Do you know your rights? Don Evans does. Do you really believe that the insurance company would disclose all information to you? Don Evans will make sure that you are fully informed. It costs nothing to discuss your case. From car wrecks to malpractice, Don Evans will make you and your family whole again. Don Evans won't ever charge unless he collects for you. Call Don for a free, no-obligation consultation at 601-969-2006.
Hi, this is Mary Beth Hardy, owner of Flora Pharmacy. Flora Pharmacy is proud to be locally owned and operated. We believe in the power of community and personalized care. At Flora Pharmacy, we treat you like family. And for your convenience, we offer curbside service and prescription home delivery. Just pull up and we'll bring your prescriptions right to you. Can't make it to our store? Flora Pharmacy will drive it to your doorstep. Come see the best pharmacy in town today at Flora Pharmacy, where care meets convenience. Highway 49 in Flora.
Efficient and trouble-free payroll processing is crucial to a business's success, and a lot of businesses are struggling with it. PeopleLease, a local payroll provider, not only offers top-of-the-line software, but also provides on-demand payroll support services. With PeopleLease, you're never on your own at every step of your payroll process. PeopleLease has the expertise in managing payroll challenges and will work hard to understand your business and employees. That's what makes PeopleLease the perfect choice for you and your business. Learn more online at peoplelease.com. Bad decisions limit future options. Make enough bad decisions and you will destroy your life. Listen to The Flatline with your host, Rick Hughes, every Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. here on 1039 WYAB. Join us every Sunday for 30 minutes of inspiration, motivation, education, all without manipulation. That's The Flatline with Rick Hughes, heard here on 1039 WYAB, each Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m.
Sun coming up over New York City.
Welcome back in for the last few minutes of the Lindsey Beckham Show on this Thursday afternoon. Thanks so much if you have joined us on the show today. Again, I will be in Choctaw County this evening. There's a song Carrie Underwood has, or she released several years ago, called Choctaw County Affair, and it's actually about kind of the backroom deals going down in a small town in Choctaw County. So I'm going to play that. I'm going to be singing that on my way over to Choctaw County tonight. But I will be there at 6 p.m. at the Council House Restaurant for their GOP meeting. Excited to get to see everyone over there within the GOP and share with them what we are doing within Moms for Liberty, and then what I'm doing here at WYAB and in the state. Also, the 21st of this month, there will be another, I know y'all are excited, school choice panel. This one will be held on the coast. Let me give you the exact location. Let's see here. It will be, no, they've changed it. It was going to be at the Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, but I think that has changed. But it will be Thursday, May 21st at 6:30. I will be joined by the three people who were on the last panel with me, Leah Ferretti, Gerard Gibbard, and Russ Latino. I don't know who will be there on the other side because we can't seem to find anyone that wants to debate us anymore. Can't imagine why. I mean, personally, I think it's because no one wants to answer the Southern Poverty Law Center funding questions, but it should still be a good time. Y'all come out if you can. I would love for you to learn more about why I support education freedom in the state. And of course, I will be back here tomorrow, same time, same place. Please join us. I will see you then. Bye.